So we are looking at the law of accident, very powerful law in the journey of success, career, business, whatever that you desire to manifest. According to Bryan Tracy, life is a series of random occurrences and things just happen by accident. No one actually plans deliberately to fail. No one decides in advance to live a life of underachievement and frustration. But by failing to decide exactly, this is where this law is powerful, but by failing to decide exactly what you want, you end up living unconsciously and unintentionally by the law of accidents. So this is a law that we as professionals, we as entrepreneurs, we must be conscious about to ensure that we are not enacting this law in our lives. Yes, we can unconsciously or even consciously. There are many of us that we know what we should be doing, but we are not doing it intentionally. For those who are in the mentorship program, there's a day where there's a question you are being asked. Are you sure you are doing what it takes to live your dreams? And in all the response I always had, now if I've had 50 mentees who have gone through the first phase, I can 48 always genuinely say no, that they know that they are not putting in their best every day to live the kind of life they desire. And it's okay. I have been there too. I have been there where I used to live my life and I enforce the law of accident. How do you enforce the law of accident in your life, which is negative, which is not good for you to enforce? You enforce the law of accident when you fail to decide exactly what you want out of your career. You fail to decide exactly what you want out of your business. Let me make it more practical. If you have not written down the date and the year you are going to have your master's degree, if you don't have one yet, you are living by the law of accidents. If you have not written down the year and the month that you're going to complete your PhD program, you are living by the law of accidents. If this year you have not written down exactly as an entrepreneur, you have not written down the monthly income, the monthly profit you want your business to generate on a monthly basis and your annual income for 2022, minimum annual income for this year, you are living by the law of accidents. If you desire an international career, a global career, and you have not written the number of countries and the names of the countries you desire to travel in by 2025, by 2024, by 2030, you are living by the law of accidents. I pray there will be some repentance after this session today. You will need to take charge of your life in a more deliberate way. In a more deliberate way. Some of us are actually living lives with the intention to fail, even though in our minds we don't want to fail. In our wishful thinking, we don't want to fail. We are not doing what it takes. We are underperforming, we are underachieving, and we feel frustrated around our lives, not because that is how God designed us to be, but because we have activated the law of accidents. We are living by the law of accidents, thereby not deciding exactly what we want in the important areas of our lives. It is the same like some people may end up, you are dating people by accident. You are just dating anybody that comes your way. Oh, because you need somebody, you're just dating anyhow. Have you really decided, you know what, I need a young man around me who has a career of his own. I need a visionary young man. I need this, I need this. Oh, you know what, I need a young lady who understands that she needs to be driven, who believes that she has some things to offer. I need a young lady who can who can work hard and drive and encourage me to become a better performer. You need to decide exactly what you're looking for. I need a spiritually strong person, blah, blah, blah. Those things are very important in life. And let me tell you, those things drive you in a very powerful way. Let me tell you guys something. I did not do my MBA and my PhD program when I was financially stable. One of the things that drove me was because I know that in 2012, I specifically stated that by 2020, latest 2020, I want to have my doctorate degree program. And let me tell you, in 2012, I was in the worst state of my life. I was living with friends who were keeping me, basically. I could not feed myself properly. Part of my money was still coming from building, construction site, and car wash, and all of that. So it was not like I had a perfect life before writing down all of these things that I wanted to happen in my career. But one thing I knew was that, although I did not know about the law of accident by then, but I knew that my life would not go into the right direction if I just leave it to be aimless. If I'm unconscious, if I am unintentional, I knew that fact. And when you're already from a disadvantaged background and the law of accident is working for you, you are like 20 years behind success. I'm telling you. Young people who come from well-to-do families and other families, they may live by the law of accident, and their parents may force them and push them forward to maybe get government jobs or go to good schools and all of that. But for some of us that we come from struggling backgrounds, if you allow the law of accidents to work for you, you are gone, you are dead. You will just exist and nobody will know that you ever lived. The most dangerous thing that can happen to anybody from a struggling background is to live life unconsciously. Like I still don't get to understand how you see a young person who's come from a struggling background, you go and drink alcohol. How do you think? Like really, how do you think? You go to nightclubs where you have life has nothing to give you, you have nothing to give to life. Everything around you is wrong, but you still carry a big head and you still take the wrong decisions and go to the wrong places, hang out with the wrong people. Everything around you is basically wrong. You have amplified the law of accidents by 10 around you. That's not going to produce results. You only end up maybe a failed young person, or maybe you end up doing the wrong things and you get shot somewhere by the police or by your fellow bad guys on the street, shoot you, or they beat you and they kill. Something only ends up happening. Like I have guys I used to know in Old Town. I used to, when I was I used to live in Old Town, one of the most dangerous and whatever quarters you can say. I know guys that in high school we used to know them, that some died. I mean, I was told that one died the other day, like he was shot. Old Town is a very poor community. Very few people in Old Town live an average life. It's a poverty-stricken community. But you see that young people there end up, or they do a lot of drugs, they smoke manga, they take hard drugs, they drink alcohol, and all of that. And many end up just toying around, and they end up give life nothing, and they collect nothing from life. And as again, many young people, that's why if you notice Old Town has a lot of street fighting. By who? Young people. Not from well-to-do families. No way. Young people that have been beaten by life, or their background is beating them hands down, but they have refused to consciously and intentionally take life into their own hands. They live life aimlessly. We need to refuse that. From today henceforth, my charge for you, my charge to you, especially if you are one of those that you are not from a very strong family, you need to be careful about the law of accident. You cannot live your life by accident. It's only going to destroy you. You only end up a failure and with a lot of regrets. So because you cannot be living your life based on random occurrences. Things should not happen to you randomly. You should be able to take control, have some control when it comes to your character, to your habits, to how you face your day, have control over your thinking, have control over the kind of friends you keep around, have control in how you feed your mind. Take control of all core things around your life. Have the wisdom to take control of what you can control. This alone will transform your life forever. If there's one thing I don't joke with, is anything I can control, I take total control of it. It is the hallmark of successful people. You can control your sleep, so control it. You can control procrastination, control it. You can control laziness, control it. You can control bad character, bad attitude. You can control bad friends. You can take control of all the core things around you that have the power to influence the rest of your life. The law of accident will only give you an accidental life. And I keep telling you guys, nobody manifests in incredible success from the place of assumption and guesswork. Nobody. People who manifest success, you see their life, that you can predict their life. You can predict that this one will be successful based on the patterns, based on how they live their life. Based on how they live their life. I shared something yesterday in the group. I don't know how many people saw it. But that is part of, that's what it means to control your life. That's what it means not to live by the law of accident. I said more money equals to a simpler life. So know how to make money. More strong relationships leads to more opportunities. Of course, then know how to create relevant relationships. Anybody who lives by accident doesn't have these things in charge. But if you live intentionally, you have all of these things. I said waking up early means you have more time to produce more results. Dressing well and looking healthy means you're going to make a good impression when people see you. And you take control of that. You can control that. Born in a rich or supportive family is a big blessing. That's why I call it a blessing, because we don't control that. You don't decide which family you're born into. Intelligence and learning new things makes you resourceful and ahead in life. You can take control of that. So you see, from today, we need to kill the law of accidents. People who live by the law of accidents say things like, you can't fight the city hall. Like, no, you cannot fight the, there's no, like, you cannot fight the government. You cannot change the government. You can do nothing about the government. You know, they're a bad government. This is all we can do. That's what they talk about. That's people who live life by accident. Right? They say things like, it is not possible. It is not what you know, it is who you know. No, what you know is important, and who you know is important. Build the two, invest in the two. There are some people that they're just lazy around. Oh, you know what? I can never make it in Cameroon. I don't have a godfather. I don't have a godmother. I don't have this. I don't have that. And I've told you guys several times, one of the best ways to make it in this country is become so good that nobody can ignore you. I had the privilege to do some work with some top organizations in this country, and even government leaders and so on. Not because nobody endorsed me. They saw my work somewhere else. They read about me somewhere else. I can give you a typical example of the media houses. I've been on every prominent media house in this country and the country. Nobody like said, okay, you know what? Like, I had no godfather inside. The various journalists saw the works I do and all of that, and that's how they got to me. But there are many, some of you even here that you have gone to say, I think, because I said, okay, you know what, call these journalists, use my name, and they're going to have you on the show. So the two works, what you know and who you know is important. Simple. So sometimes when you don't know who you know, if you don't have who you know, okay, take control, build yourself. You can control that. You may not be able to control who knows you, But you can become so good that the right people start knowing you because of the value that you create. And that doesn't happen when you live life by accident. That happens when you take control of the critical things around your life. People who live life by accident usually believe that success is largely due to luck and circumstances, and that it has very little to do with themselves. They are living by the law of accident. When you live by the law of accident, you have this funny mentality that successful people are lucky people. Let me tell you something for today. You make yourself lucky by taking control of certain things in your life. Everybody has luck, what Christians can call grace. Everybody has grace released upon their lives. But grace is frustrated without hard work. Grace is frustrated if that human being doesn't take the right actions. Grace is frustrated. Luck is frustrated if you don't develop the right patterns of living. Grace is frustrated if you live life by accident. You get up from bed at 6 a.m., at 7 a.m., you sleep and you snore. No job you don't have, no business you don't have. You are just there aimlessly, watching television, browsing from one social media to another, visiting one friend to another. How do you want to create that beautiful life you have in your head? You are living life accidentally. And that's why people can only give you 1,000, 2,000. They can give you urgent 2K, basic funny things. Because you don't take charge of your life. They can give you accidental money. They can give you what they call pocket money because you only deserve pocket money. There's a level you build yourself. Somebody's giving you 200,000 francs. They're begging you, please just beg, just manage this. It's not because it's small. It's because you have placed so much value on yourself. It's because they also hold you in high esteem based on the result you produce, or based on the kind of life that you live, or based on the level of intentionality and consciousness that you command around yourself. So stop believing that you are the victim of circumstances. Stop believing that you are where you are because you are born in a poor family. There are guys who are born in more terrible families than you and they live better. There are guys who have been born in war-torn countries, war-torn communities, and they're doing better. I was sharing my story with somebody the other day, and he was surprised. The story, part of my story where I've not been very public. I think just recently I started talking about it, that I left Kumbo. Oh, that reminds me, my landlady's daughter in Kumbo Kotamila, my landlady died. We all ran away from Kumbo since 2018. I left Kumbo at 3 a.m. when those boys, that God knew those boys were looking for me and they were planning to come and kidnap me. I left Kumbo at 3 a.m., abandoned everything. I only had a jeans trouser, t-shirt, and I carried my laptop bag, since my laptop bag is always with me. That's all I took and all of that. I came to Boya. I left my office, my house. At that age, at that level, my standard house was there. A Western house. There was a chair like this, what they call coaching chair. There was a television. There was a complete kitchen. There was a complete living bedroom and all of that. All of this was there. I had an office, a training hall, and an internal office. All I have abandoned everything, my life savings, and that office was still new. That office was just a year, no, 1 year, 6 months, where I emptied all my accounts and I set up that office. And then I left everything to start life over fresh. Did I come into where with money? I came to I think I had my last amount I had on me was 15,000 francs. Thank God for my friend Desmond, who housed me for almost 6 months or so. I was able to get back my feet. But when I was in Boya doing work, trying to rebuild and establish an office, nobody knew that was my condition. That's a circumstance I should have capitalized on. Oh, you know what? I am just here. This is just me. Oh, life is so terrible. I am a victim of the Anglophone crisis, blah, 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 and all of those things. That's a choice. We all have a choice to become victims of our circumstances and live life by accident, or we take charge of our lives and advance to the top. People who live by the law of accident tend to be negative, they tend to be pessimistic, and they always look so helpless. They always want for pity. That is a typical person who lives by the law of accident. If you're here, you always have this negative mindset. Oh, how is life? I managed. I am trying. Oh, I am this. I think this serious. You said that he was like that. Wait, like that. Life is awesome. Life is excellent. It's remarkable. We are going forward. There are future possibilities. That's what I'm focused on. I am not a manager to managing life. Do you read management in school to go and manage life? Stop being negative. Oh, but you are just pessimistic. Nothing good can come out from Cameroon. Oh, that's what my life good day. And so what? You have been saying that for the last 10 years. What good thing have you produced? And that's why when you now say things like that, you now start enacting the law of attraction, and you're attracting all the negative things, pessimistic things, and all of that. Okay, let us look at people who have been saying negative things. Look at some also have been focusing on positive things. Whose life is better? You're first of all, you're a prophet to yourself. When you're pessimistic and you're negative, that is the self-prophecies for your life. And you start enacting the law of attraction. You attract those things. You're always looking helpless, always looking for pity. Always, oh, you see, now so my own day. So when you live under the shadow of the law of accident, you blame others for your problem. You blame circumstances for your problem. You blame your government for your problem. You blame your village people for your problem. You always make excuses. You always perform below potentials. You always indulge in all forms of escapism. You run from hard work. You run from waking up early to study. You don't read books. You don't read 20 books a year. You don't try new things. You don't try a business. You don't deposit at least 10 applications every month for new jobs. You're always just escaping, and you complain from here to there. You complain in the morning to evening. Oh, endless television, endless social media, and then you end up turning to alcohol, and you start drinking, you start socializing anyhow. Every birthday party in the village, you are there. In town, you are there. You even travel for burial ceremony to your village and to another town when you are jobless. You are just socializing anyhow. So then what good thing can come out from a life like that? Nothing good can come out from an accidental life. Let's exclude the law of accident from your life is for you to be a dangerous goal setter. Be somebody who has clear priorities. Better accidents than many of you. So other we are born out of accidents like this. We should have been better accidents than you. We are certified accidental kids. You know you are not accident, you are well planned. Now you want to turn your life into an accidental life. Is something not wrong somewhere? So resolve to become better. Resolve to live your life intentionally and produce better results. Resolve that from today, nothing happens to you by chance. You will create, that's why I like to use the word engineering. Engineer your own success. Go and read the meaning of that word in your dictionary. You will not see why I like to use that word, engineer your life. Engineer your own success. It is so powerful. It can change the rest of your life. So exclude, conquer the law of accident in your life. Beat that law out. Beat the hell of that law out of your life. Beat it out of your business. Beat that law out of your career and become better in how you produce results. Let's look at law number 8, the law of responsibility, which is like this is the law that you can use and conquer the law of accidents. The law of responsibility states that you are completely responsible for everything you are and for everything you will become and achieve. One of my favorite laws. You are completely responsible for everything you are and for everything you become and achieve. Let me tell you guys one of my secrets, and that's why maybe I don't have worries or depression. See, I live my life that nobody is coming to help me. This is one of my mantras. Nobody is coming to help me. And I think that's one thing that helped me to go through life, especially in my education. When I was in high school, when you know the state of your family, there are some things you stop expecting. Even in high school, I already knew that nobody is coming to help me. My education was my responsibility. So when I'm working hard to go pay my fees, I know not, unlike a joke, from BSc, from my getting my BSc right to my PhD, nobody ever removed 1,000 I say, okay, you know what, this is for to support your fees. Now imagine I was expecting, oh, somebody needs to help me with education. Nobody is coming to help me. Simple. My life is my absolute responsibility. Even to today, nobody is coming to help me. And that's why I live life a lot with strategy and systems. When I'm doing anything, there's always a strategy in place. What if this goes wrong? Okay, there's always a plan B. My plan B, plan C has never been another human being. It's always something about me. Always make sure that you are taking complete responsibility of your life. Always activate the law of responsibility. You are completely responsible for everything you are and for everything you become and achieve. And that's why if you have a supportive family, it's a blessing. Don't play with it. Thank God every Sunday for that kind of family. You have a supportive spouse. You have a supportive boyfriend or girlfriend or fiance or what the other, is it fiance? Yes. Fiance and fiance, yes. The other stuffs, right? If you have it, grateful. If you have a close circle, best friend that stands there for you, you are super blessed beyond a measure. Even they may not give you money, but they support you and encourage you. They advise you. They endorse you. They can do anything within their power just to support whatever that you do. They can be there just to hold your hand and say, okay, this is a difficult moment, but we're there with you together. We're not abandoning you. There are some people like us, we went through the most difficult moments alone. We didn't even have friends at that time who could say, okay, no, we know what you're going through. It's a blessing. Don't get entitled to it. Don't be entitled, oh, because it's my father is supposed to do this. What about those orphans? What should they be entitled to? You should be ashamed of saying that. Especially if you are above 20 years. You should be ashamed of saying things like that. Don't be entitled to the help you get from your parents. It's a blessing. Others grew up without them. Others, their parents died when they were 2 months old. But they still made it out of life. They still made it through life. Stop pushing your responsibility to other people. Stop practicing escapism as the law of accident states. Your life is your responsibility. And I know some parents can encourage people not to practice the law of responsibility because they claim to love you too much and they try to control your life. Oh, don't leave the house. Oh, don't do this. Oh, don't do this. Don't try to do this, all of that. When you try to take responsibility, they don't understand. You need to find a way to make them understand, especially in this dispensation. I keep telling you guys, our parents don't understand this economy. This is our economy. We understand how it plays better than any other generation. So there are some parents that they try to force you, oh, write concours, write things like that. Those things are way beyond. They're outdated. We are no longer in the civil servant economy. In their generation, it was the civil service economy. But in our generation, it's not the civil service economy again. That's why in some countries, in some countries, government even beg young people to apply for government concours because nobody wants to be part of that again. Because it's not paying, it's not really fulfilling, it's not adventurous, it's not stretching them, it's not exciting. The only want more exciting, adventurous, new things, technology, and all of this stuff. You are responsible for what happens in your life. From the age of 18 onward, sometimes earlier, you make your own choices and decisions. You are then responsible for the result of those choices and decisions. You're always free to choose, but once you have chosen or failed to choose, you must accept the consequences of your choices. That is the impact of the law of responsibility. You're always free to choose. But once you have chosen, if you have chosen laziness, okay, accept the consequences of laziness. If you have chosen hard work and waking up early and putting up your best, okay, accept the good consequences of those actions. Greater progress in your life is only possible to the degree to which you accept a higher level of responsibility in that area. Hear that again. The greater progress in your life is only possible to the degree to which you accept a higher level of responsibility in that area. So it means that if you don't accept a higher level of responsibility in your financial life, you will not experience progress in that life. If you don't accept a higher responsibility in your study life, in your mental capability building area of your life, you will not experience progress in that area of your life. No one else can and will do it for you. There are certain things that nobody will ever do for you. It is your absolute responsibility to do it. And there are certain areas that there is a certain level of progress in your career and business that will only manifest when you have made up your mind to accept total responsibility and take the necessary actions in that area of your life. If not, nothing like progress will be part of you. Therefore, you are where you are and what you are because of your own conduct and your own behavior. I always say this another way. I always say that the size of your bank account right now directly corresponds to what you know and what you have been doing. You are where you are right now, people. In your career, in your business, in whatever area of your life. Like it or not, you have chosen to be there. You may not have chosen to be there intentionally, a decision to remain in the same spot. When you choose to be in your bed and sleep off, instead of studying or being part of the morning school, that is a decision. You have chosen to be in the same spot. If you have chosen to spend your money wrongly buying the things you don't need to impress people who don't care about you tomorrow, you have chosen to be in that particular spot. If you have chosen to procrastinate, to go back to the university to do your degree, to do your master's, to do your PhD, you have chosen to be in that particular spot. Nobody is responsible for that but you. Nobody. Responsibility begins with you taking full and complete control over the content of your conscious mind. That's where responsibility begins. You take control of what you think about. You take control of the kind of information that you consume. That is your responsibility. So no one is coming to rescue you. When you accept the law of responsibility, you have also accepted that nobody is coming to rescue you. If it is to be, it is up to you. If you are going to be a success, it is up to you. If you are going to be a failure, it is up to you. If you are going to be a global light, it is up to you. If you are going to be a local champion, it's up to you. If you are going to be rich, it's up to you. If you are going to be poor, it's up to you. If you are going to be the best that there is in your industry, it's up to you. If you are going to be the least and the insignificant and the yeye person in your industry, that is up to you. Nobody is responsible for that but you. If you want things to get better in your life, you must get better. Stop desiring what you are not willing to put the work. If you want things to get better in your life, you've got to get better in your own life. Get better in your mental capabilities. Get better in your habits. Get better in your daily lifestyles. Get better in the level of hard work that you put in. Get better in your resilience. Get better in your commitments. Get better in when it comes to waking up. Get better in choosing your friends. Get better in every important area of your life. You've got to get better if you want the overall lifestyle to get better. You've got to become rugged in how you produce results. If you want things to change, you must first of all change. If you want things to improve, you must first improve yourself. The acceptance of complete responsibility makes you feel positive and happy about your life because you are expecting nothing from anybody. So nobody can control your happiness. It frees you completely from the law of accident. The law of responsibility frees you from that negative, bad law of accident. It puts you on the high road to great achievement. If you want to enter the high road of great achievement, you have to choose the law of responsibility and start practicing it today. It is responsibility that you do when in the morning I ask you, what lessons are you practicing based on what you studied yesterday? That is the law of responsibility. You take responsibility for your life when you study something and you discipline yourself to execute it. If not, you are just practicing the law of accident. You read and don't do. Nothing is changing in your life. The law of responsibility puts you on the highway of great achievement, on the highway of manifesting your potential. It enables you to put your foot on the accelerator of your own potential and move more rapidly towards accomplishment of more things that are important to you. So stop making excuses from today. You've just got to stop making excuses. Some of you have made excuses the day you left the university. Till today, you have been making excuses. What have you produced of those excuses? You've got to stop making those excuses. Stop blaming people. You have blamed your village people. You have blamed your friends. You have blamed Cameroon government. You have blamed your mother. You have blamed your father. You have blamed your aunties. You have blamed your uncle. You have blamed anybody blamable in your life. What have you produced of that blame? So you've got to stop all of those nonsense and start assuming complete responsibility for your life. Nobody is coming to help you until you rise and help yourself. You need to start thinking about your future, talk about the future, and develop these complete future possibilities about your life. Your life is your complete responsibility. You are responsible for every action that you will manifest in your career and in your business. Kick out the law of accidents from your life and embrace the law of responsibility. And do that consistently just for 6 months, for 8 months, for a year. You will testify definitely that this works and this is the breakthrough you have been looking for. We are all looking for beautiful open doors, right? We're looking for beautiful open doors in careers and business. This is one of the secrets. It's going to cost you something. It will cost you sleep. It will cost you hard work. It will cost you 16 hours of consistent working. If you're working, if you're a full-time worker, it will cost you 16 hours. You work for your boss and then you come and work on yourself. It's going to cost you. It will cost you to keep certain things. It will cost you not to buy that beautiful dress, that beautiful shoe that you want to buy. It will cost you not to buy that iPhone that you desire to have. It's going to cost you some stuff to live a responsible life that can produce incredible results that you desire. The point is, are you willing to do what it takes to accept full responsibility for the life that you desire? All right, people, that's it for today. Questions, comments, and we round up.